The inefficiency in inventory and supply chain management eroded customer trust and caused significant losses. Experts stated that companies that die, and Kmart is a prime example. They made no significant the market constantly changed with the emergence of new competitors and modern technology. Kmart clung to old ways, refusing to adapt to keep up with trends. Finally, but no less important, was poor management and financial mismanagement. Kmart accumulated massive debt and lacked the funds to operate stores enough resources to upgrade outdated systems or refresh store appearances. This made Kmart stores increasingly messy and dirty, creating a negative impression on customers. Analysts blamed a wave of incompetent and idiotic management for running Kmart maintained high dividend payouts, which significantly reduced the amount of money available for reinvestment in store improvements. This was a controversial financial decision, prioritizing short-term shareholder benefits over the company's sustainable development. All these factors, from fierce competition, loss of identity, removal of unique features, lack of technology investment, and poor management and financial perfect storm. Those strategic mistakes ultimately led to the inevitable consequences: bankruptcies and the gradual disappearance of an icon. Kmart's fight for survival had begun. The battle of bankruptcies and disappearance. Decades of accumulated mistakes eventually pushed Kmart to the brink. Kmart's story from here became a series of legal battles and desperate attempts to stay afloat. First bankruptcy, 2002. As the 2000s began, Kmart faced increasingly insurmountable financial challenges. Pressure from rivals like Walmart and Target, combined with internal errors, made the situation unsalvageable. Finally, on January 22nd, 2002, Kmart had to make a painful decision: file for Chapter 11, bankruptcy protection. This was shocking news for many Americans who had grown up with Kmart. Amidst this crisis, serious allegations were made against the then CEO, Charles Conaway. He was accused of misleading shareholders and wasting company money for personal purposes. These accusations further eroded confidence in Kmart's leadership and financial situation. The restructuring process under bankruptcy protection was an extremely difficult period. To cut costs and try to remain operational, Kmart was forced to make painful decisions. Over 300 stores across the U.S. were closed. This not only caused inconvenience for millions of customers, but also led to the layoff of approximately 34,000 employees. This was a colossal number, impacting the lives of tens of thousands of families. However, just when it seemed Kmart was at its end, an investor appeared with faith in the company's potential. That was Eddie Lampert. Lampert believed that the immense real estate value Kmart owned was worth saving. He invested and helped Kmart emerge from bankruptcy. Kmart returned, but on a smaller scale and with an uncertain future. The disastrous merger with Sears, 2005. After narrowly escaping bankruptcy for the first time, Kmart, under Eddie Lampert's leadership, made a move that shook the retail industry. In 2004, Kmart acquired the struggling department store chain, Sears, for $11 billion. This deal formed a new conglomerate called Sears Holdings. The idea behind this merger was to create a retail giant, combining the strengths of two major brands. However, this was considered a disaster. The combination of Kmart and Sears did not create the synergy expected. Instead, it exposed the weaknesses of both. Kmart's loyal customers, who sought discounted products and basic household goods, weren't interested in Sears' higher-end tools or fashion items. Conversely, Sears customers, familiar with Sears' characteristic quality and service, were also not keen on Kmart's retail style. These two customer bases neither overlapped nor complemented each other. They were entirely distinct. Eddie Lampert, who placed a huge bet on this deal, is estimated to have burned over $28 billion on this disastrous merger. Instead of saving both brands, this transaction seemed to drag both Kmart and Sears deeper into financial crisis and market share loss. Second bankruptcy, 2018, and a series of closures. Following the failed merger with Sears, the path of Sears Holdings, the parent company of both Sears and Kmart, became increasingly rocky. Years of continuous losses and mounting debt made the financial situation unsustainable. By 2018, Sears Holdings had to file for bankruptcy for a second time. This was a clear sign that previous efforts were insufficient to save both brands. Throughout the 2010s, the image of many Kmart stores became dismal. They were described as outdated and in disrepair. Empty shelves, old facilities, and messy spaces became a common sight. These negative shopping experiences further pushed customers away from Kmart towards more modern competitors. To cope with the worsening financial situation, hundreds of Sears and Kmart stores were closed in successive rounds of cutbacks. This was a desperate attempt to downsize and reduce cost burdens. Remarkably, during the 2017 holiday season, Kmart and Sears did not run any television commercials, an unprecedented move for major retailers. Instead, they focused on digital marketing, a sign of budget shortages and an effort to shift marketing strategy. However, these efforts were not enough to halt the decline. The prolonged battle with bankruptcy eroded Kmart, leaving it a mere shadow of its former self. Current status in the U.S. Today, the once vibrant image of Kmart has almost completely vanished from the U.S. retail map. As of early 2023, only 2 Kmart stores remained in the continental U.S. One of them, the store in Bridgehampton, New York, closed on October 20th, 2024. This marked another setback for Kmart's presence. Currently, only a single Kmart location in Miami, Florida is still operating. Even this store only operates within its former garden center space, with most of the main building having been leased to another retailer. This demonstrates Kmart's significant reduction in size and functionality. Additionally, a few other Kmart stores still operate in U.S. territories, including 3 stores in the U.S. Virgin Islands and 1 in Tamuning, Guam. These locations continue to serve local communities, but cannot compare to the vast network Kmart once had. Notably, Kmart ceased all operations in Puerto Rico in October 2022. From being America's discount superstore king, Kmart has become a relic of the past for most Americans, a sad story of a retail empire's collapse. Yet, surprisingly, in a faraway part of the world, the Kmart story is entirely different. A story of unexpected success, proving that Kmart still has potential if managed correctly. Kmart Australia, a different story. While Kmart in the U.S. was struggling with bankruptcy and downsizing on the other side of the world, Kmart is a brilliant success story. This shows that Kmart isn't inherently unsustainable. The problem lies in how it's operated and adapted to the market. Unexpected success in the international market. When we look at Kmart US and its decline, Kmart Australia presents a complete contrast. Kmart Australia has not only survived, but thrived. Currently, the chain operates an impressive network of 323 stores across Australia and New Zealand. This demonstrates Kmart's strong scale and presence in this regional market. The key factor making the difference is that Kmart Australia is owned by the Wesfarmers Group, a large and experienced conglomerate in the retail sector. This independent management has allowed Kmart Australia to develop its own strategy suited to the local market without being affected by the mistakes of its parent company in the U.S. The Kmart Australia brand is renowned for offering high-quality products at low prices. This is a rare combination in the retail industry, and it has attracted a large customer base. Kmart Australia is considered one of the cheapest department store destinations in Australia, making it a preferred choice for smart consumers looking to shop affordably while ensuring quality. Statistics speak for themselves. Approximately 22.6% of the Australian population, equivalent to 3.6 million people, shopped at Kmart within a 4-week period. This indicates Kmart Australia's widespread popularity and influence in the daily lives of people there. And not only does it have a large customer base, Kmart Australia also generates significant profits. In 2021, Kmart Australia contributed $693 million in profit to its parent company, Wesfarmers. This figure is a complete opposite to the continuous losses of Kmart US and Sears Holdings. Kmart Australia's successful strategy is highly commendable. They focused on no-frills, fashionable, bold products. This means they didn't try to compete in every segment, but focused on essential, highly functional products that were still on trend. More importantly, Kmart Australia heavily developed its private labels. This provided differentiation for customers, as they couldn't find those products anywhere else. This strategy is compared to being very similar to Target's strategy in the U.S., showing that Kmart Australia learned from other successful models and applied them flexibly. Professor Mark Cohen stated that Kmart's birth in Australia could have helped Kmart US find